Hello, my name's Vivian and welcome to my very first podcast. As I said, my name is Vivian. I'm based in Essex where I live with my partner Sean and our cat Bonnie, and I'm self-employed and I do a lot of knitting as well. Knitting is my passion. I also crochet and I also do some beading work and a small amount of cross stitch, but most of the time you'll find me with a pair of needles in my hands. The reason for doing this video is that I've set myself a goal to knit as many hats for the homeless as possible this year. I did a few last year, and apologies the sun's having problems. I did a few last year and I really enjoyed it, so I thought using my scraps and busting some of my stash I would knit this year. So the reason I'm on here is because I felt the best way to actually stay on top of it and to keep on top of my targets is to actually post a small video each month just showing what I've done, which will then encourage me to do more to show the following month. Like I said, my name is Vivian, but I'm known across social media as Vivette, and you can find me mainly on Instagram where I'm very active, and also I have a Ravelry page under the same name. I'll put both the links down below in the show notes, and feel free to pop along and have a look at the sorts of projects that I do on Ravelry, because I do put show notes in there for you. So if there's any patterns or any hats that I knit that you like the look of and you'd like to see how I've done it, if I've modified it at all, that's the best place to go, because I will put it in the notes section on Ravelry. On Instagram I kind of post my progress throughout the month, and again that's where I'll also put a little taster to say when the next podcast is coming. So with all of that in mind, if you'd like to watch some more of this, please get comfortable, grab a drink as they say. Mine today is Bird and Blend's Smoky Russian, which is a really nice strong black tea, and it smells of campfires, so it's a really nice one on a cold, chilly but bright day. So let's get started. As I said, I've decided this year to actually knit as many hats as I can for the homeless, and I will also probably do some scarves as well, because I can crochet those and they are quick and easy. So I started this just after Christmas and decided that it would be my goal for 2019. Last year I set myself a goal to do some garments, and I've done 3 out of the 4 that I said I'd do, and the 4th one I'm on Sleeve Island, as they say. But this year I thought I would do something that I could bust a lot of my stash, and also something for someone else. So like I said, it's hats, and here are the first 2 that I've completed so far. As you can see, they are just plain beanie hats, so it's purely using Starcraft. Come on, light. Thank you. Using Starcraft Special DK. This one is in the walnut colour, and it is just a straightforward beanie. I did a 7.5 centimetre rib, so it's got a nice fold up brim, and then just knit and then did a star decrease. So it's very simple, very easy. It's ideal for knitting in front of the TV, because once I've got past the rib, and I don't even really have to concentrate on the rib once I've got into a rhythm, I can literally just sit and knit until it's time to finish. So that was the first one that I completed, and now I've finished the second one, which is, as you can see, exactly the same pattern again, Starcraft Special DK in one of their variegated ones that they had, and this one I think you can see the decreases at the top slightly better. I do apologise for the weather. We've got a very cold and crispy day here, but obviously it's decided that it's going to pan in and out with sunlight. And as much as I like the sun, I don't really want to shut it out, because we don't get it that often this time of year. So hopefully you'll be able to see everything and it won't fade in and out too much. But like I said, these 2 are finished already. They're very easy knits. They're very quick knits as well, and they've got a nice squish to them. So I'm not going to block these, because obviously I don't want to lose the texture of them. But these will go in the bag ready to be gifted to a local charity at the end of the year. So once I've finished those 2, I like to have at least 2 items on my needles at any one time, because I have a tendency, if I'm just knitting on the same thing monogamously, to get a little bit bored. So I cast on another 2 hats that I'm currently working through, so I'll show you those now. This is my first one, and it's a barley hat by Tin Can Knits, which is a free pattern on Ravelry. This is an Aran DK weight, and as you can see, it's a tweedy one, so there's a lot of texture. It's a really nice knit. It's coming up quite big, which I'm hoping is going to be okay because I am sticking to the pattern sizes. I'm knitting these on Knit Pro Zings 5mm, and like I say, it's a tweed. It's a tweed that has been in my stash for a long time. It's a 400 gram ball, so as you can see, I have plenty to get hats out. I've already had a scarf out of this that I gifted to my partner who came home from work one Friday and said, I've left my scarf at work. So I crocheted him one over the weekend and he had a spare one to take to work on Monday and leave in his drawer. So like I say, I've already had a scarf out of this ball and now I'm halfway through a hat, and I think I can get pretty much another scarf and a hat out of this as well. So that's the first thing that I'm working on at the moment, and these all live down by the side of me on the sofa and I can just grab one of an evening. The second one that I'm doing, excuse me, is being kept in one of my cottage number 9 bags. I love these. I first found out about these from Grace, who is Vanna Willermill and Babble's Travelling Yarns, and she had one and I loved it. And what I love about it is that you can pull it like that, and I have mobility issues, so I walk with a rollator, and this hangs on the seat, on the handle very nicely, so wherever I'm going I can take my knitting with me. I've now got 3 of these bags, but this was my first original one. And the work pattern that I'm working on here is the Alexis Hat. Now I don't know, let me unclip these. Another good, these are pouches are from Barbara of Knitting I Love, and they're really great. I love them. I use them for my journal and everything. So this pattern is, like I say, it's called the Alexis Hat. Again, it's a very simple pattern, 4-row repeat, and this yarn that I'm using is actually yarn that I got from my local pound shop. It's a really nice, it's acrylic, but it's lovely and squash. It's got a squish to it and it's got a slight halo to it. So I know they say it's premium acrylic, I'm not quite sure what it is. I love the colour, I love the hat, so I'm just knitting this up, and again, even with this pattern, once I'm in a rhythm, I can do it quite comfortably in front of the TV. So those are the 2 that I'm working on to have finished in February, and then I will cast on 2 more to do in March, etc, etc. So that is me on track for February. Whilst I'm working on these, I'm also working on some things for myself, and one that I've just recently finished is I'm wearing, as you can see. So this one here is my Rune Shawl by Helen Stewart, and it is made out of chromatic yarns from Hannah of Corner of Craft, and the colours are Blue Slade and Vicious Mockery. Those of you that know Hannah and who is the dyer behind Chromatic Yarns and her colour schemes, they're all based around, is it Dungeons and Dragons or Dragons and Dungeons? Anyway, that's the basis that she dyes to. So I saw this when she was wearing them in a cardigan, and I thought what a great combination they were. So I ordered a couple of skeins in one of her shop updates, and like I say, I've just finished this. I will take it off to show you if I can do that. Ooh. So it's quite a good size. It's a very, again, another pattern that is really lovely to follow. So that's great. Excuse me while I have a drink. It's thirsty work, this podcasting. Yes, like I say, so I've cast that off a couple of days ago. I've blocked it, I've darned in the ends, and now I'm looking forward to wearing it outside. So that's my other one. The other objects that I've recently finished is just a couple of pairs of socks. So these are little trainer socks, and I'm very lucky in that with my gauge and everything for my knitting of socks for myself, I can, if I do alternate contrasting colours for heels, toes and cuff, I can get 2 pairs of socks out of one skein of yarn. So I have a tendency to do a slightly longer pair and then a trainer pair as well. So these are the trainer pair, and for this is Grundle Hot Rocks mixed with a Drops Fable for the contrast, and it's an afterthought heel. Now these are only my second time ever of doing an afterthought heel, and I think I've cracked it. I have to put a lifeline in, so it's not a true afterthought heel because I do put a lifeline in, but I'm very happy with how they come out. Up until now I've been someone who's done a heel flap and gusset, whether it's be an eye of partridge or a standard one, but I found that they're slipping on my foot now. They're not fitting as well as they used to, so I'm trying afterthought heels to see if they work. So these are just something that I finished in January, and I'm sure I will get a lot of wear out of. So that is what I've done. So that shows you my FOs for the hats in January, the 2 that I have on my needles for February, and also 2 finished objects that I have for myself. I now need to go and source something to knit for myself in February so that I have something on the go as well for me, but I don't know what it is yet. So I'm trawling Ravelry, and if anyone's got any suggestions, I want to knit another jumper. I have a jumper on my needles at the moment that I'm on Sleeve Island, and I keep looking at it and I keep going, oh, do I really want to do that sleeve? I know I want to get it finished, because once it's finished and I can get the needles back, but at the moment I really cannot face it, basically. So that's kind of gone on a hiatus, but I'm sure I'll pick it up again soon. But other than that, I'm kind of looking, I've got some yarn and I'm just looking for more jumpers to knit, really, because I want to just kind of try and have as many in my wardrobe as possible that are handmade, hand knitted by me rather than shop bought. But at the moment I can't kind of decide what I wanted to do. So just finally, one of the things that I quickly showed you when I was showing you my hat was this lovely pouch. So this is a needle holder, can you see that? And these are made by Barbara, who is Knitting I Love on social media, and on the back it has a ruler, but these come in various colours, sizes. Some of them have like 2 little clips along them for DPNs, and some of them just have the one. I have 2 or 3 of these and I really like them. I use one to put a couple of pens in for my daily journal, and the others I use for knitting. They're very good with jumpers, and if you look on Barbara's website, which I will put down below, and also on her YouTube channel, which is Knitting I Love, she shows you how to use these, and also other things that she sells in her shop. So like I say, these are the ones that I use for knitting when I've got magic loop, which is most of my knitting, to be honest, and I just loop it around and push it through. But I really like these, and they are great pen holders as well. So that's just a little thing that I forgot to show you earlier. So like I said, this was going to be a short video, so thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen so far. I appreciate it's very rough and ready, but this is my first ever attempt. I've done a couple of practice runs, so this is my first one of actually, right, if this looks okay, I'm going to go with it. I'd appreciate any comments down below. I hope you've enjoyed spending 10-15 minutes with me or so. Like I say, it's just short and sweet, as they say. But hopefully I will see you again next month when I post up my February FOs. And if you've liked what you've seen, give me a little thumbs up. And if you'd like to subscribe, that would be really great. So once again, thank you very much for your time, and I hope to see you again in the future. Bye bye.